Greetings. I am Sister Sylvia from the Diocese of Ta'ar. Father Keith asked me to share a few thoughts with you during this time of lockdown. And to start with, I'd love to tell you a story. The story is about Garden and his very special pond of reeds. Every evening he would come down to this pond and relax with the reeds swaying in the wind. And as he looked at all those reeds, he looked upon one of them with special love. Now, God doesn't have special loves, but in this story, God does, because this reed really loves God with all her heart. And every evening, when God came down to sit in the shade of the tree, this little one would dance with all her might. However, one evening, God, as he was coming down to the pond, looked rather sad, and the reed looked at him and thought, I wonder what the matter with God is. And so she decided there and then that she was going to dance with all her heart and all her might, and really dance in such a way that the king would again smile at her. So she danced and she danced and she kicked and she smiled and she used all her energy, her whole heart, her whole being to dance for God. But alas, when she finished her dance, God was still not smiling. Now this is not how God is. And so she went up to God and said to God, My dear King and Master, did I not dance well enough tonight? And the king said, Oh, my beloved reed, this was the best dance ever. But you see, my beloved, I'm very heartsore tonight. My heart is broken. And he looked at the reed with such sad eyes that the reed reached out to him and said, But Master, what is the matter? Can you tell me? And God said to her, Of course I can tell you. And he said to her, Please take a look down into the valley and tell me what you see. And the reed turned round and looked, and sure enough, down in the valley was a whole field like a desert. No trees, no life, no growth, only sand and rock. And she turned to her master and said, But Master, what happened down there? And God looked at her and said, You know, that used to be my best area to go and visit. It was so green, it was so beautiful. It was full of trees and grass and flowers and, oh, the butterflies and the bees and the insects and the rabbits and the buck and the people. Oh, the people. They were full of love for each other. But one night, an evil spirit came and dwelt amongst them. And slowly, slowly, they began to believe the lies of these evil spirits. Until one day, their belief killed them. They no longer had life in them. And they left saddened, broken, fractured. And my whole field died in this misery. And so the reed asked the king, Is there anything I can do? Please, my king, I'd love to see you happy again. Is there anything I can do? And first God said to her, My dear beloved reed, I don't think you are able to help me. Oh no, God, she pleaded. Please, I can help you. I'll give you anything, everything. And God looked at her and said, Anything and everything? Are you sure, my beloved? And the reed smiled radiantly at God. Yes, God, everything. And God said to her, For this to happen, I am going to have to cut you down. What? Cut me down? What do you mean, Master? Yes, my reed. If you want to help me, I have to cut you down right to your roots. But God, if you do that, I'm going to die. Yes, my reed. You will no longer be able to dance for me. But God, that's my greatest joy. How can you ask that of me? But my beloved, you said I can ask for anything. And the reed bowed her head, and then she said, Master, if it will make you happy, please cut me down, right down. I love you so much. And very gently, God took the reed right at the bottom and sliced her right off at the roots. And he picked her up and held her and said, Thank you, my reed, for this sacrifice. But I must tell you, it is not enough. And the reed looked at God and said, Not enough? What do you mean? And with deep tenderness, God said, For you to help me, my reed, I have to slice you from top to bottom. Oh no, slice me in half from top to bottom? And she sighed, Well, my God, if that is what you need, I said I'll give you everything. You may do what you like because I trust you. I trust that you will only do what will bless me and bless the field below. Though she had no idea how this field could be helped by her being sliced in half. And so God took the reed and cut it from top to bottom, and then gently laid it on his lap. And then once again he looked at her and said, My reed, it is still not enough. With a faint whisper she said, Not enough, my God? What else can you ask of me? I've given you my life, you've sliced me in half. And God was silent for a moment, and he said to her, My dear reed, for my life to flow through you, I need you to give willingly your heart, your mind, your will, your love, your attitudes, your mindsets, everything. I need to take everything from you so that my love can flow through you. At this point, the reed was stunned. But she trusted God, and she loved God with her whole heart. And so she said to God, God, your will be done. And with tremendous love, God removed her attitudes, her mindsets, her love, her heart, her will, everything that made up who she was. And when she was totally empty, he gently laid her on the ground, and placing his hands on this empty reed, he allowed to flow through him his love, his peace, his healing, his attitudes, his pure peace and goodness. And she never felt so full in all her life. And after some time, God came to her and said, My beloved reed, I should like you to look around and look at my field. And when she turned round, she saw the field full of life, full of blossom, full of energy, full of people happy, loving each other, being kind to each other. And God said, Without your help, my friend, that would never have happened. Thank you for your sacrifice. This is a beautiful story. And maybe we can liken, and yes, we can liken it to the life of Christ. He poured out everything. He left heaven. He left the glory of his life to become a humble human being. He gave everything in the Eucharist, and then he gave everything on the cross. What am I prepared in this time of Corona-19 to give that life may happen, We don't just ask, God, please heal, please, God, have mercy. No, God is asking something from each of us. What can we give God today to help heal the coronavirus? I thank you, and I bless you with all that is good and beautiful.